Hello. Oh, that's better. I can speak. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Nice to see some faces here we haven't seen for a while. So awesome that we're moving forward and people are coming back, and really good to see Frank here. So welcome back to CPS. Haven't seen you for ages. So welcome to the Scavenger Hunt special. As we talked about briefly, this is a bit of an experiment into how we might be able to run similar things or completely different things later on. So we're going to ask for, I suspect it'll take us a wee while to step through these things, so just have a little bit of patience with us, please, as we work through the process. Let's first of all, though, start off with the health and safety stuff that we're all aware of. The doors are now open both sides, and you can get back in through the back access way now that the COVID restrictions have lifted a little bit, or straight out on the front road. I think we've all been here enough to know what's going on there. In terms of where we're going with COVID stuff, next week we're going to start again with the 7 p.m. sessions, and we're going to start again with supper, so I'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later on. A couple of notices. First of all, I'm looking for a volunteer, somebody with a bit of interest in social media management. We're going to try, and we've got the Facebook group at the moment, which is a sort of a discussion group, a notices group, but it's not really a marketing thing. What we really want to do is to create some outward-looking Facebook-orientated things, or Instagram, or whatever. We just want to start developing, pushing it out there, letting people know what we do. And so if anybody's got an interest in managing social media, you don't actually have to know how. We'll all work it out collectively, but just come and say hello to me afterwards, and we'll give you a volunteer tag. Recently, I have been contacted by the PSNZ Club Liaison Officer, who has asked about a couple of things that we're doing here, and wants me to outline a couple of things that they're doing. The first one is, if you are a PSNZ member at the moment, you will get a link. I think they're every quarter, or I'm not sure actually how often, of the Camera Talk magazine. That's an online magazine that you'll get. They are intending, or want to make it clearly available to all members of affiliated clubs. So if you're not a PSNZ member, you still have access to that. So we're at the moment working on a way of passing on the link so that all of CPS members can have access to that. So that's something for PSNZ for nothing for non-PSNZ members. And basically they just want to get people involved, and maybe that'll attract you into joining. The other thing that they are looking at setting up, but this will sit within the members area, they've had quite a lot of people have been travelling around New Zealand over the last year or so, perhaps more than they do otherwise. And a couple of clubs have suggested that locals in their own sort of home area might have some well-known, go photographing kind of areas, and we want to create a list, or PSNZ wants to create a list. So if you happen to find yourself in Taranaki for a few days, you can go to the online website and find out, here's the 6 things that photographers love in Taranaki. So what many of the other clubs have done is have had a bit of a 5-minute session at the start of a meeting and just suggested a few things. So can you all go away, put your thinking hats on, think what it is around Christchurch? For me, the obvious one is the pier, which somebody who hasn't been to Christchurch might not even know exists. That sort of thing is what we're looking for. And if we can create 10 of our special things and get that put in the Christchurch area, that would be a good starting point. So that's something we'll look to do over the next couple of weeks. Laurie Thomas Winter School. We're going to get cranked into action, and I'm going to ask Heidi to come up and give a bit of a promotional spiel for Laurie Thomas. There we go.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you. It's nice to be back. Welcome. It's lovely to see you. Well, actually, I can't see you. But I can guess you're out there. This is the Laurie Thomas. That's better. It's not the mast I'm talking about. The Laurie Thomas Winter School is the 22nd of July till the 24th of July this year. And we're going to be in Twizel. We're going to have Mike and Jackie as our tutors this year. We are staying at the Mackenzie Country Hotel, and we've got a whole luxury deluxe wing that I'm hoping to fill with you guys. So that's going to go up on the website pretty soon. I've just confirmed because I just didn't know what was going on, but I've spent I've spent a little bit of time this week reconfirming my booking that I hadn't cancelled. So it's all sitting there and it's all ready to roll. So that's really, really exciting. So we'll be doing some in-house work. There is a conference room which Mike and Jackie will tell us how they want it set up. So they'll have projectors and they'll be able to talk to whatever aspect of their program they want to work with, or want to show pictures or do their teaching, which is amazing. So we'll have everything in-house. So we'll have everything available to us at the hotel. We'll be eating our lunches at the hotel. We'll have an evening meal available to us also at the hotel. So it's really cool. We'll go out, we'll do our photography, and we'll come back, and so we can run to our rooms, get cozy, and we can go into the conference room. So it's going to be very exciting. There's nothing more to say. Just keep your eyes open, because the registrations will be open as soon as I can get that information onto the website for you. Hands up if you're keen. Super. Okay, excellent. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Heidi. A completely aside thing, but just reminded me there with Heidi was talking on the microphone here. Some feedback from the live stream. I think you're all pretty much aware that we're live streaming as much of this as we can, and we've got quite a few members who are somewhat reluctant to come out, who are watching from via the live stream, and I think that's really awesome. But we had a couple of situations last time when we were talking about Prince, and there were people who were slightly reluctant to go and speak into the microphone. Please don't be reluctant to speak into the microphone, because when you get the opportunity, when you get an honours, so you should all be striving to speak into the microphone every time there's a print competition or a PI competition, because you're all after those honours, and we really want to hear about them afterwards, but use the mic so that the people on the other world can hear. Okay, supper and the 7 p.m. sessions. We're starting that again next week. 7 p.m. session next week will be C graders again, and Nicola and Jane have going to have a program sorted for C graders. So come along at 7 o'clock next week for C grade members for the 7 p.m. session, and we'll also crank up suppers thereafter. Overall, we are going to start moving back to the supper system where everybody gets a turn, and so we'll be passing around next week again a supper roster, and you'll be expecting everybody to fill themselves in and volunteer for a slot. If you don't volunteer for a slot, expect to be volunteered for a slot. The more the merrier, and the more people get involved, the easier it is for everybody. It's really easy to sit there and go, oh yeah, I'll do that and be involved a little bit, and if somebody taps me on the shoulder, I'll do something. But I'm actually going to ask you to not just wait for the tap on the shoulder, to please take a step forward and put your name on the roster, and if you don't, I'll do it for you. Survey to members. The other survey that's happened, and there's been a little bit more interest after I put a post on Facebook today reminding it. Remember the spring workshop series that we're just starting to get going, and this is basically our method of spending the money we made out of all the work that went into the convention last year. So we've got a significant amount of money, and it's going to be a free workshop series over the weekends in the first weekend in October. We have got some classroom space available for us at St Margaret, so depending what workshops we go with, whether they're classroom based or trip based, I'm not really sure yet. But before we start down that track, we want to be making sure we're running the workshops that people want to come to. So there's a survey out there now. If you haven't done it, go to the website, click the big green button, and just tell us what you want. So do that as soon as you can. Okay, that concludes the sort of notices. We're now going to move on to the scavenger hunt. We were a little bit disappointed that there weren't 35 teams entered. We had 5, so that's a start, and that's a well done effort for people. So they all got out, got involved, got their cameras out and got things moving last Sunday. Just as a reminder, I'm just going to step through the categories we had, and then I'm going to ask John to talk a little bit about how we're going to do the voting. So remember, there were categories were birds in flight, portrait of a friend, last light, raindrops, autumn colours, focused or unfocused, a ghostly location, a sense of smell, and the last one was the numbers game. So there's a number of things for people to get stuck into there, and I've had a bit of a look at the results, and there's some really cool pictures. So let's first of all start thinking about how we're going to work this voting system. John.
I'm sure most people know how to use a phone with their fingers and move things around. That's just the standard gestures that you can use, and you'll need them to run this little program on your phone. Has everybody got their phone connected to your website for CPS? Anyone having any issues?
No, the website.
No, just the website for CPS itself.
So cpsnz.com.
And once you've logged on, if you're on a computer like some people are at home, they'll find it a lot easier because there's a lot more real estate on their screen. But with a smartphone, not so much real estate. So if we want to go to the next page, once you have logged on, you'll see the usual banner at the top, where if you can move the screen up by moving your fingers up the screen, you should come across this little 3-finger thing here, and under there are some options, and one of them is competitions. If you click on the competitions, it comes up with another list. Sorry, if you roll down that list of competitions, it'll come up with a list, and eventually you'll find vote on competition images. Okay? If we're telling you how to suck eggs, let us know now, because we don't have to go through the whole thing. But if you want to continue, no objections, we'll carry on. So once you've got to this point where you've actually pressed that part of the screen and got your competitions up, which looks basically the same as this here on the big screen. We'll go to the next screen. You end up with a list of competitions. As you know, we've got 9 categories here, and we decided that we would have a competition for each category. Just worked out a lot easier, and it actually, I think, makes it simpler when you're starting to look at the images. Now, once you've got that far, and the system is working at the moment, so you should be able to get in, you just press select for competition A, and we will take you through the images shortly for competition A. There are 5 images, since there's 5 teams, and what we want you to do, once you've selected the competition, is to end up with one picture or one image with 5 stars, one with 3 stars, and one with 1. If everybody does that, then the competition becomes a lot easier to calculate the results. So here you see down here, you've got 3 votes. You can only actually put in 3 votes. Now, once you've put in your 3 votes, you then need to save. So if you go to the next slide, you can see over here, once you've put your votes in further down the screen, or sorry, at the top of the screen, it's got save votes. So once you've put your votes in, press save, and then you can go to the top of the screen again by rolling the screen down and return to the competition list, and you'll then be able to choose competition B, and we can go through the cycle again. Does anybody have any questions on how that works? Yes, Diana. You want to have a look?
Yeah, I'm going to have a look. Get my glasses so I can actually see. Would be a good idea. No chance of seeing without them.
Anybody else got any questions on how to navigate their way around?
Okay, so
I think once you've been through the first couple, it'll become quite simple.
I think you're in the go back. So click that.
We're going to see the photos shortly, and we would like you to basically do the voting once we've shown you the photos, because obviously you're going to see a lot better image on this screen than you are on your small screen.
Scroll that down.
Anybody else need any help? Is it Heidi?
Vote on competitions. There you go. So competition voting. There you go. So select vote A, and that will open. And now you're in birds in flight competition. You're there. And then you have to go back out to get to the next one.
Coming to this page,
What's this? No, this is no. You need to be in. Have you logged in to? I don't know. No, don't do that. Go here. Competitions. Vote on competition, and then scroll down to here. So competitions. And look for this. So birds in flight. Select that one. So if you go into the first one, you go select, and then you're in. There's the pictures you're going to vote on. And then when you want to go back out, go up to here.
what do I vote?
You do it. So if you want to give this one 3, you go 3, 3. So one of them.
Anyone else need any help?
So when it comes to that, so just wait till we get started on the voting. Have a look at it and then see. Is everybody in? How are we going? I think by the time we get everybody up and running to start it off with, it'll probably take us 10 to 15 minutes maybe to get through this first one, and then it'll be, right, we've got it sorted. Won't take us very long. What we're going to do is we're going to show the images on the PowerPoint that'll go through each of them for a period of time. You can look at them all, think about what you would be thinking if you were a judge, or what you'd expect to hear the judge say, and then be thinking about which one you think they are, and then it'll put up all 5 images, and at that point we'll go, righto, let's vote. And so we'll spend a couple of minutes, and when everybody's figured it out, we'll go back out of that and we'll go to the next one. Okay.
I think that's all. Does anyone else have any issues?
Okay, let's start looking at the first lot of pictures. We can go through it and do it a couple of times if necessary. So
Just press the button.
Oh, okay, you want me to start now?
Yep.
Yep, okay.
So you're going to see these for 8 seconds each.
that's cool. Right then, voting time. Go.
Just take your time, and once just think of
Yeah, you go.
3 images, 5 for your first, 3 for your second, and 1 for your third.
But you don't vote for your own.
You can
You
vote.
vote for whoever you like. The Prime Minister's allowed to vote for herself, so that's fine. When you've decided what you're going to vote on and you've done the 5-3-1, You click Save Votes.
Getting any feedback from home, Andrew?
Had to get on.
So I need how many award
Yeah,
for each
so
image? I need
no, you just choose three, your three best ones.
3 best ones
So if you think that's the best one, so you give the best one 5 points,
or 5 points.
and then the second best one 3 points,
Second, maybe this one, 3 points.
and the third best 1 point.
And third one, I can't see this.
It's up there if you want to have a look. It's what I say. Oh, you can see that's cool. So,
No, I got a lot better than that. But yeah, I could,
you have to try going back. It's trying to do something funny. Oh no, we have to go.
Press the save vote button. You might want to roll down and make sure that you've still got 3 in there with
Okay.
the 3 sets of stars.
maybe this one. But
What you put in.
Okay, now scroll, go up a bit. If you're sure that's what you want, click go save votes.
so that's 5, 3, 1.
That's right.
Oh, 5, 3, 1.
Perfect.
And the save.
And then go to. Oops, no, I don't mean to. No, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Go backwards.
And go
At the
to
top.
B.
Now you go to return to competition list. That one. See there it says.
Competition.
Still see some heads down, so obviously need a bit more time.
There we go. So that's one you've already done. So
So do the second one.
okay, that's cool. Now go to the. Yep,
Go
that's
to
fine.
second one.
Yep, and that's the next one we're going to show. So, well done. You've done it.
Everybody ready for number 2? Number 3, sorry.
Right, hopefully the second one will be a bit quicker.
No, not too quick.
How do you find the images when we
We'll see them all in a second.
Right, there they are, voting time. Has everybody voted? Everybody happy online, guys? Cool, righto. Next, last light. Okay, voting on last light. How are we going? Has everybody voted on last light? The next one is raindrops. Well, there's some different ones there. There's a bit of a challenge. Voting on raindrops, please. It's not hard, is it? Has everybody voted on raindrops? Next, please, autumn colours. Another variety of interpretations, but voting please on autumn colours.
I'll figure it out in the end.
This is a leap of faith of whether this is going to work at the end, really, isn't it? If in doubt, John will just make up something. That will be fine. Nobody will ever know. Okay, is everybody happy with their votes on autumn colours? Let's move on. Focused or unfocused? Pretty much universally unfocused. I don't know if that says anything about us as a group of photographers or not, but anyway. Voting on unfocused, please. Yeah. Is everybody happy that they've voted on focused or unfocused? Okay, next please. A ghostly location. Again, some interesting interpretations. Voting please on a ghostly location. Have we all satisfactorily spooked ourselves out enough? Everybody's happy with a ghostly location? The next one is a sense of smell. Fish and chips certainly popular. Voting please on a sense of smell. You've got to be able to imagine a smell then. Okay, we should be getting good at this by now. I'm imagining everybody's finished voting on a sense of smell. And if they haven't, then they haven't, I guess. Next one, please, and the last one is the numbers game. And this one you had to represent all of the digits from 1 to 10 in a single image somehow. Cool. Again, some pretty lateral interpretations of that one. And this is the last one. So think carefully. Your vote could be what tips the challenge, tips the thing in the favour of chocolate fish or no chocolate fish. There will be tears. That's the whole point of this exercise. Create tears. Right, we're going to give everybody else another 2 minutes to have a last think, and then we'll slam the door shut. And while you've got your phones out and you are logged into the CPS website, what I want you to do is to go back to the main page of the website, since you've got your phone there, and scroll down to the bottom and see if you can find a big green button that says vote on what you want to do for this summer spring workshop series. So click the button. While the last couple of minutes is happening, I think we could probably call it closed now, couldn't we, John? So we'll keep a bit of a lock on it. It's all done. But so right now, before you log off on your phone, go and have a quick look. Think about, I'll go there as well, and we'll talk about each of them. So, the workshop's possibilities, and what we're looking for here is your first, second and third choice, and we will then just basically figure out a weighted average way of trying to find out what's the most popular. We're going to try and create a series of workshops that'll have something that everybody would be keen on as a first and second choice particularly. So stepping through them, portrait and lighting, post-processing, so I'm thinking that we might be able to twist Helen McLeod's arm and get her to run one of her extravaganza weekends for us in that one. Creative photography, there's lots of possibilities there. In-camera movement, we can get some lens babies out. There's a whole bunch of creative possibilities that would work really well there. Street photography, I'm pretty confident I could twist Tony Bridges' arm to come. We're going to pay the workshop presenters some money, so Tony could come down. He does a really good street photography workshop. He usually does it in consultation with Fuji, so you know, if he turns up, then Fuji will probably turn up with some prizes and all sorts of stuff, so that would be really good. Black and white darkroom, if you haven't had a chance, if you've never seen a print appear in front of you in a tray while you wobble it in under the funny red lights, smelling really weird smells, here's an opportunity. I think it's a great opportunity. Nature photography, Steve Alsop's coming next week. He would be an ideal man to lead a nature photography thing, take a group of bird photographers out to one of his special places, something along those lines. Landscape, there's any number of people we could have driving landscape photography. I would imagine that likely to be a day in the classroom followed by a really early get up on the Sunday morning and buses paid for by the whole workshop fee and take you out to somewhere and do a landscape shoot and then process it a little bit in the afternoon. And visual design and composition, John Suckling special for a whole weekend. I think we could possibly even con Bruce Girdwood into coming and joining in. Bruce and John have been talking about running workshops at some point, and we could be their crash test dummies if everybody's keen on that. So one of those must attract you as my keenest one. First, second and third, and click. And we've now got, instead of 19 we had before, we should have now, whatever it is, 49 people made their vote. So thank you for that. You can now log off the website. So, what shall we do? Let's just talk amongst yourselves. Can we bring the lights up while John comes up with the answers? Working?
You getting there?
How did everybody find that voting system, and would it be a cool thing to do if we had another competition which was kind of driven around just people's choice stuff? I imagine we could have a competition where we might have 30 images up there, so it would work in a similar sort of way. You just have one competition we can arrange it so that you can have like 5 votes each, so 1 to 5 stars, and we could do the same kind of deal as everybody, we put the images up, we talk about them a little bit, and we all become our own individual judges. This is something, if it works as swimmingly as I'm hoping it's going to be, it's something we could have a crack at later in the year. So, interested in your feedback on that afterwards. While John works out the number, I would like everybody who entered the scavenger hunt to stand up, please. So everybody gets chocolate of some sort.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. Thank you.
This is the participation chocolate. You're right. There we go.
Thank you.
There we go. 2's fine. We've got heaps. There we go, JK. Keep 2, though. Well done. Those who are sneakily catching 2 think you can get 2 as well if you're clever.
Thank you. You're wonderful.
There we go. Help yourself. It's heaps. John, I think you deserve one as well. Yep, if you like. Well, you can do it. You. There you go. So the overall deal, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the process and show you who got first, second and third in each of the categories, and then the whole thing will add it up, a Grand Slam winner, and the winning team will receive a whole big box of chocolate fish. So.
Let me finish my chocolate. Would appear we had about 75 people voting. Not everybody voted 3 times in every competition, but that's all right. I'm sure they'll all average out. So for the competition, the first competition, remind me again what it is. It's birds in flight. The first prize went to flying through the water, and that was the Vivid Snaps. The Vivid Snaps, please stand up. Well done. The second one went to the Lens Queens for Flight of Life. Flight for Life.
Cool.
You can stand up.
They'll be standing on.
We just want to know who each team are. The next one are Jontis, which I think is John Thornton and his team. Do you want to stand up, John? And that was Takeoff. Well done. We'll move on to competition B, which was the your best friend, I believe. And once again, it goes to the Vivid Snaps for Dog. Second was Kana for Portrait of a Friend. And third place went to Right Shot. Stand up, please. And that was for getting the right shot.
Okay. Well done.
Did we have Kana stand up? We did. Yeah, we did. All right. Okay, sorry. So for competition C, which was the last light, first shot goes to Jontis for Dallington Light. Next were the Lens Queens again for Good Night. And third place went to Kana for Last Light. Next we had the raindrops. First place goes to the Lens Queens for Summer Rain. Then it was Right Shot for Water Drops. And third place to Jontis for Autumn Rain. Next, competition E, which was the Autumn Colours. Once again, the Lens Queens win.
Oh.
Autumn Leaves. Second place was Right Shot for Liquid Autumn. And third place went to Vivid Snaps for Autumn Colour. Lucky we didn't name our images all the same name. Next one was Focused and Unfocused. First place goes to Jontis for Bridge Blur. Second were Lens Queens for Freaky Focus Walk. And third place to Vivid Snaps for Unfocused. Where we got to is G for A Ghostly Location. Oh, getting sick of this. Lens Queens win again. Hallswell Ghost. Jontis came second with Spook Eyes. And Right Shot were third with Amongst the Graves. Right. 2 to go. Smell. The first shot goes to Kana for Sense of Smell. Second place to Jontis for Fish and Chips. And third place to Right Shot for Sunday Dinner. And the last one, but not least, the numbers game. First place goes once again to Kana, the numbers game. Ooh, which one is it? There's two by the name of numbers game here. Is that your shot? Kana? Is that your image? Oh, it has. Oh, you can see it. Oh, well. There we go. Second place went to Jontis for Who Wins. And third place goes to the Lens Queens for their numbers game. Right, the overall winners. Can anyone guess? Total score of 490.25 points goes to the Lens Queens.
All right, you better come up and get them. There's quite a few more chocolates left in the other barrel, and I don't really want to take them home, so that can be the supper for tonight. So come and grab them. Really keen to get some feedback on how that went, and whether it was, obviously the people who got involved had fun, and I hope those who didn't get involved now feel that they regret not getting involved. If that's the case, then we might have been successful, and we'll try and crank it up again. Also interested in some feedback on the voting system. Yeah.
How we can actually accommodate them as well.
Okay. Oh, that's a bit hard to enter. The difficulty is entering into the system. We did think about that. Yeah. Okay. Righto. Well, there's a few things to think about from there on in. Anyway, that concludes what we have for tonight. Next week is, as we said, the 7 o'clock session is going to be C graders, and then we're going to have Steve Atwood from Aldwood Photography, which is basically a nature photography, birding essentially, guiding service. He's based out on Little River. Steve saved our bacon at the convention with a presentation similar to what he's going to give us next week, and I think we all enjoyed it. We had the speaker fall out at the last minute then, and exactly the same thing happened. Anne Worthy was going to be coming and talking and doing some presentation on her really cool portrait photography stuff, but she got COVID. So I rang Steve and he saved us again. So come along and enjoy him. I think he's going to be really good. And just make sure you express your appreciation of him coming out and saving our bacon yet again. So thanks for participating tonight. I hope you all enjoyed it, and thanks for that. We'll see you next week.